Hey everybody, this is AYG's Alpha Team here with another video for the Division. Today we're going to be talking about the new drop rate increases that they just mentioned in the most recent state of the game that happened today. So I'm going to go over everything and give you all the new numbers that they told us about, and we will talk about it, and I'll have a group listing at the end so you can see everything that was mentioned in the video right now. So first things first, let's get right in it. They didn't mention the exact day when this was going to change, but they did say it was in the near future, so just keep that in mind. They're not in the game yet, but they will be very soon. So first things first, the drop rate for classified gear from named enemies is going up to 6% across the board. So any named enemy you come across in the game, with the exception of Last Stand, of course, will now give you a 6% chance at classified gear. So right now, apparently it's 3% in the open world and it's 5% in the dark zone, which they did not mention ever before. So apparently right now in the dark zone, classified gear drops have a 5% chance from named enemies in the dark zone. So if you want the best chance to go right now, it's in the dark zone apparently. Okay, next up, they're going to introduce a new cache for the global event. So during global events, instead of having the superior global event cache, they'll have that, and then they're getting rid of the other one, the 900 one that doesn't even give you classified gear. They're getting rid of that, and they're giving you a targeted gear set cache. So it'll probably cost 900 G credits, and it'll give you one guaranteed classified gear piece. So that's great. They're getting rid of that cheap one that no one ever bought because it was just a waste of time. They're replacing it with targeted gear set cache. Next up, during the global event, all the resistance bosses will now drop 100 GE credits instead of 38 credits. So if you're in resistance during the global event, you'll get 100 GE credits from any named enemy that you drop in there. Next up, the special equipment vendor will now have a classified cache that you can buy that will have one piece of classified gear in it guaranteed. It's going to cost 2,500 Phoenix credits though. So the special equipment vendor is getting a new cache. It's a classified cache. It'll cost 2,500 Phoenix credits. Next up, legendary mission rewards now will have a 20% chance to drop classified gear. So after you finish a legendary mission, when you complete the mission, you have a 20% chance to get a classified piece now instead of the 10% that it was. So that's an increase. So now, anytime you do a legendary mission, you just have a better chance at getting a classified gear at the end. And also, since legendary missions have named enemies and it's in the open world, you have an additional 6% for every named enemy in that legendary mission. So keep that in mind too. And now, the season pass supply drop that's in the open world. So if you have the season pass, you'll notice that there's a supply drop that happens once a week in the open world. You can go to that, and now it has a 10% chance to drop classified gear. Plus, each cache that you open every week will have 100 division tech in it. So the season pass the season pass supply drop now is relevant. So now you have a chance to get classified gear out of it, and you'll get a guaranteed 100 division tech from it too. And speaking of division tech, when they implement this new update, so keep in mind again, I'm going to mention it again, these changes aren't out yet, but they are coming out in the very near future. They didn't say exactly when, but they are coming out in the near future. So next up, daily assignments will now drop. If you complete a daily assignment, you get 25 division tech for every daily assignment completed. Also, you get 100 division tech for every weekly assignment finished. So you have a potential chance at 900 division tech just by completing weekly and daily assignments every week. And the next thing up is the thing that I think is most important. Vendor exotics will now are getting removed from the loot pool. So the exotics you can buy at the vendors, like the Liberator, the Historian, the Centurion, all those are being taken out of the loot pool. So now whenever you open an exotic cache or you complete a weekly assignment and you get your exotic, it will no longer contain an exotic that you can buy. So vendor exotics will now be exclusive. So you can only get the Historian from the vendor. You will never get it as a drop again, or things like that. Historian, Cassidy, not Caduceus, I'm sorry, the Pecan, Centurion, all the ones that you can buy at the special equipment centers, you will no longer be able to get them in a drop. So that's great. They're removing the vendor exotics from the drops. I think that's great. And last but not least, they are including the entire exotic loot pool for all the open world bosses. So if you've noticed in the past that open world, if you go to the open world and you kill a boss, there's only a chance at 3 different exotics. It's Skull MC Gloves, Caduceus, or Tenebrae. Those are the only 3 you could get. But now, after they make these changes, you'll be able to get the entire exotic loot system will be incorporated into the open world bosses too. So you'll be able to get any exotic from the open world bosses, which I think is a great change as well. So all this information was given in the state of the game today, guys. I'm going to put a list up right now. So just a quick recap. Drop rate increases, 3% chance from named enemies, now 6%. New caches for global events called targets, gear set caches. Resistance bosses during global event, 100 GE credits instead of 38. Special equipment vendor now has a classified gear cache that will cost 2,500 Phoenix credits. Legendary missions now will give you 20% chance to drop classified gear. Season pass supply drops in the open world would now give you a 10% chance to classified gear and 100 division tech every week. Daily assignments now drop 25 division tech. Weekly drops will be 100 division tech for the weekly assignments. Vendor exotics are now gone from the drop loot pool, and open world bosses will get the entire loot pool for exotics. So I just wanted to get this out to you guys. I'll put an article up on this on our website as well, if you want to read that through. It just so you can have something to reference. But I wanted to take time to tell you guys, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. Go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more from regaming.com. Also, shoot us a comment if you have any questions, you want to give us any feedback. It's always appreciated. Until then, go ahead, game on.
Game on! Yeah, game on!